The language is very powerful as well as versatile because it is the object-oriented programming language. It is also a user-defined data type. The main difference is it allows storing different data types in the same memory location. For multiple commands, we will use a single slash with an asterisk symbol. To avoid the name conflicts of the identifiers, we will be using namespace. Hello everyone, welcome to the next session of problem solving using C++. I am Sanjana, faculty of BCA department, Vidhyaashram, First Grade College, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. So, we are in the module 1. Previously, we have seen the introduction to programming, program development lifecycle, how the lifecycle of the program, procedure-oriented programming, object-oriented programming, basic concept of OOP, benefits of OOP, application of OOP. So in previous, we have seen what do you mean by OOPs, what are the things that are the basic concept of OOPs, and also the procedure-oriented programming and object-oriented programming. So next, in this session, we are going to see the overview of C++, structure of C++ program, input-output statements, identifiers, constants, variables and data types. So first we will see the overview of C++. So what is C++? What is the history of C++? C++ was developed by the Vidhyaashram. So he developed C++ in 1980s. So it was developed in USA at Bell Laboratories. Originally, it was called as C with classes. So, originally, it was called C with classes, means the C which is the procedure-oriented programming, whereas C++ is the object-oriented programming, means C with classes. So, the ANSI committee formed in 1989 to unify the language. So, this C++ is powerful and versatile. The language is very powerful as well as versatile because it is the object-oriented programming language. And also it is the efficiency and performance known for its flexibility and speed. So it is a very efficient language compared to C language. Next, superset of C. C++ is also called as superset of C. So why it is called as superset of C? Because most C programs can be compiled in C++. So what are all the programs that are there in the C can also be compiled in C++ compiler. It also supports large program development with a clarity and ease of maintenance. Also, it facilitates the bottom-up design while incorporating the structured programming principle. So this is a bottom-up design programming language. It also helps in the structuring of the program. So this is a small overview of C++. It was developed by Vidhyaashram in USA at Bell Laboratory. It is also called as the superset of C. First, it has the name as C with a classes. It is also versatile, efficient and also a speed performance. So next, we are having structure of C++. So everything is structured, right? While cooking, it is a structured way. While building, it is our blueprint, it is a structure. So programming is also having a structured way. We cannot just program without having syntax, without having a structure. So structure is also an important part in the programming language. So C++ is also have a structure. So let us see the structure of C++ programming. So here, the first we are having document section. After document, the linking section, definition section, global declaration section and class declaration. Next, member function definition and the last main function. So this is the structure of C++ programming language. So how this works? What are all these sections? So let us know. So here the first is the document section. So documentation section. This section comes first in the user to document the user logic and also reason in your program. The documentation is done in C language with a single line commands or also a multiple line commands. So document section. In the document section is where we will document what are all the things that are there for programming so that user can read. So the document section we will be using commands. So the single line commands we will use double slash. For multiple commands we will use a single slash with a asterisk symbol. So the document section says about the program or about the developer, or it will give a logic of the problem or the program what we are coding. So that's why the document section having a commands. So these commands what we are writing here, for example, I'm doing a addition of two numbers or multiplication of two numbers. So the first thing I will give here addition of two numbers. So whatever you are writing in a commands, that does not compile in the C++. So the compiler will not compile whatever you have written in the commands, that is in the document section. So here we are having multiple line commands. This begins with the slash asterisk and ends with the slash asterisk. This is multiple line. So we want to give the logic in a long way. We want to explain the program in a long way in the starting or in the middle. So we can use this command, the slash with a asterisk. Example, I can have So here you can see I have written multiple lines. This program tells how we can add two numbers. That is, I am using multiple lines. So when the commands what we are writing is multiple, is having more than one line, we can use the slash with asterisk. So whatever that is written with a double slash or with a slash asterisk, that means those are the commands that we are explaining what the code is, what the program is saying. So that is about the document section. So next we are having the linking section. After document section we are having link section. So what does it says? So here this section tells the compiler to link the certain occurrence of keywords or function in your program to the header file specified in this section. So link section is where that specifies the header files that the program is having certain functions or the variables. We will learn what is variables, what is functions, what are the data types in the upcoming classes. So the link section tells the header file that these variables or the function that are declared, it is from this standard header files. And also the link section, we can link multiple files that are with a different extension, to the C++ compiler. So linking multiple files into one with the C++ compiler. Next, we are having namespace. This defines a scope of identifiers to avoid the naming conflicts. So when we are having a large code or large project or a large program, there may be having a name conflicts. For example, in a program, I want to use print. That is, from 2 times I want to use the print function. So both is having the same name. So to avoid that, we will be using namespace. So to avoid the name conflicts of the identifiers, we will be using namespace. Next, we are having the definition section. So it is used to declare some constants and assign them some value. So definition section. As the name says, we will define our own constant value. For example, there is a program, a large program, and a value is a constant. So that I don't want to use the value again and again. So I will declare it as a const value. That is, I will define that value using the hash define. So you can see example hash define max 25. So in the program, wherever there is a max, the value is 25. I am defining my own value, that is the constant value. Next, I am having global declaration section. Here, the variables and the classes definition which are used throughout the program, including main and other function, are declared so as to make them global. So, global declaration section. Global means whatever we are declaring global can be accessed throughout the program. So, whatever, whether it's a function or the data type or the member function or the member variables that is declared as a global can be accessed throughout the program out of the class. So, that's about the global declaration. Next, we are having the member function definition. So, member function. So, what it is? Here, you can see the function name parameter. It defines a block of code that performs a specific task. Return type specifies the data type of the value returned by the function, and also the function name, a unique identifier for the function, and parameter, input value passed to the function. So, member function definition. So, what is this? Here, the function name. So, I want a function print. So, here the print what I have written is the function name. Function name I have given print. Parameters. So, whatever I will be writing here is considered as a parameter. So, I have not given anything. I have just declared print. No parameter has been passed here. So, print is the function name. Next, return type. Return type specifies the data type of the value returned by the function. If the function is having a return type, here we will have a return. Here we can have a return. So, if you want to have a return of the function, then a data type should be mentioned. If you are using a void, then there is no return type. If you are using a void means empty. That does not have a return type. So, whatever you are writing here should not be a void. It can be int. So, then how to have a return? So, we will have a different data types. I am taking int. So, int is the data type I am using. Print is the function name, and I have not passed any parameter, and return 0. I am saying return 0. Function name, as I said, the function name what I have given print. So, this was about the member function definition. So, next we are having the main function section. So, main function. In C++, the code starts compiling and executing from the main function. It starts compiling and execution start from the main function. So, main function tells the compiler where to start the execution from the main. So, it tells where we should start the function. So, how it works? Here in the program, we will be having int main. Int main. So, the program starts compiling and execution from the int main. It starts compile and execution from the int main. So, this was about the structure of C++ program. So, we have seen the document section. Document section means where we will see the logic. We will be using the commands // and /*. After that, we have seen the linking section that is used to link the header files and the variables and function. After that, we have seen the definition section. So, we will define our own data, our own user defined things. And after that, we will be having the global declaration section. There, whatever you are declared globally can be accessed throughout the program. So after global declaration, we have seen the function, member function definition, and also the main function. So this is a basic structure of C++. So how to know it in a coding way? So how it looks in a coding? So let us see. So here we are having a simple C++ program. So here this is a header file I am using. #include IO stream using namespace std. As I said, namespace is used to avoid the naming conflicts. Next, int main. Int main is where the program start execution. Cout, that is the character out. C++ is better than C. So C++ is better than C. Return 0. So why return 0? I am using a data type called int. I am using a data type called int. So return 0. This is the simple program. So let's first see what it does. So here include directive. So #include IO stream includes the standard input output stream library. Namespace declaration. So I am using a namespace using namespace std. Allows access to standard function without prefixing. Next, I am using the main function, that is int main. Entry point of the program, that is the execution, the start of the execution. Output statement. So the output statement what I have given, Cout, C++ is better than C. So displays the message to the console. Return statement, return 0. Indicates successful program execution. So this was a simple program. So let us see. So when we start coding in a C++, the main thing we should remember is we should include a header file, a namespace, and a main function. #include IO stream. So this is a header file. I am using IO stream header file, means input, output, stream header files. Using namespace std. So this is the basic. You should know #include IO stream using namespace std, int main. So this should be, you should know this one. This is the basic for a C++ programming. So #include IO stream is a header files. We are using a header files in the C++ programming that give you a standard library functions or the tools that we want to use in the program. That will give you the classes, functions, etc. in the header files. So I'm using the #include IO stream, means input output stream. So this will give us to use the objects like Cout, Cin in our program. So that's why I'm using the header file #include IO stream. Next, I'm using namespace std to avoid the naming conflicts. And int main is where the program starts execution. So this is the main thing. So next, we have seen previously Cout, C++ is better than C. So whatever we are writing in the Cout is displayed in the output. It will be displayed in the output console. So I will be using Cout here. Cout. So the Cout is the object, that is the character out. I can use this in our program because I am including a header file called #include IO stream. And next, I am using this stream operator of the output so that I can write C++, the stream operator, and L. So here Cout, C++, and L. So here Cout is the object, that is the character out of the header file IO stream, and whatever I have written in the double quotes. So what you have written in the double quotes will be there in the console. It will give us a output in the console. So if I have a output screen, so in the output C++. So this will be the output. End L. So why I am using end L means it will end the line. So next, if I have not used the end L, if I am not using the end L, I have written Cout C++. Without using end L, I am again writing the Cout Java. So I have not used the end L, means end the line. So in the output screen, you will be having C++ Java. So here the line is not ended. It will continue in the first line. So to avoid that, I will be using the end L, that is end L. So everything will be terminated with a semicolon. Everything ends with a semicolon. So whatever you have written in the Cout should end with a semicolon. So here also I have ended with a semicolon. So Cout is used to give the output to the screen, to output screen console. Whatever you have written in the double quotes will be printed in the output screen. So let us see another example for Cout. So I will be saying good morning. So I want to print good morning in the output console screen. So how to write that? How to print the good morning in the output screen using C++. So Cout, everything what we are writing should be in the double quote. Good morning. And it should be ended with the end L semicolon. Next, return 0 because we are using a int main and also for the successful program. So this is the basic. You can use Cout, your name in the double quote. So whatever you are writing in the double quote will be printed in the output screen. So here you will be getting good morning. So this is a simple C++ programming. So in this, we will be using the #include iostream, user namespace std, int main and a simple Cout, good morning, what I have written and also return 0. So we have seen the simple C++ programming. Ma'am has said what is this Cout? We will be using character out, what it is. So let us see the input and output statement. So here input and output statements. The commands used in C++ to receive data from user, that is the input, and display data back to user, that is output. So input is where the user will giving the input and the output, the system will provide the user output, what we have taken as given as a output. So next, input statement. So the input statement we will be using cin, the character in. So this is also the object from the #include header file, that is #include iostream header file. Cin variable reads the input and stores it in a variable. Example, int x. Cout enter the number cin x, that is user input value stored in x. Output statement. So what is output statement? So the output statement syntax we are having Cout, the messages variable. Displays the message and the variable. So Cout, the number is and x, end L, output the value of x. And also we can have multiple inputs, that is int a, b, cin a and b. So how this works? So we have seen the input and output. Cin, Cout, variable. So this includes cin, Cout and variable. So how this works? Here I have include iostream. What it is? It is a header file. Next, using namespace std. Int main, int num. Previously you can see here int x, that is int is the data type and x is the variable. So we will learn what is this data type, what is this variable in the next classes. So for time being, you should know int is the data type, num is the variable. Cout, enter the number. Cout. So what I have given the character output in the message screen. So this is the output screen. I have taken the data type int, variable num, Cout, enter the number. So here in the Cout, enter the number, the output screen you will be having enter a number. Okay. Cin So this is also the stream operator for input. Cin, character in the num. So what is num? It is the data type of integer data type. So integer data type means it will take integers, that is the whole numbers. Cout, you entered. Cout, again Cout, you entered num. So this is the variable what I have taken. So here I will enter 5 as a user. So Cout, you entered 5. So this is the output. So let us have our own program so that we can understand properly. Again, so first thing, hash include IO string. So what it is? It is the header file using name space std. Next, int main. So this is the basic header file using namespace std and the int main. So cin, cout and a variable. So now what is your name? My name is ABC. My name is Ram. So this is the program. So the program you have given, you should have the output screen. What is your name? And the input you should give the name. Here it is the input you are giving. And it should display my name is ABC or anything the name you want. So this is the program. So how to do in C++? So now the output screen, I should have what is your name. I should have a display of what is your name. So what I should use? Cout. So the output screen, I should have a display of what is your name. So I will be using Cout. So Cout, stream operator, everything should be written in the double quote. So what it is? What is your name? And end L. So I have given the output screen. So here in the output screen, you will be having what is your name. So next we had cin, means character in. The user will give the input. So to user give the input, we should have a cin and also variable. Cout, cin and a variable. So I want a variable. So it is in the words, it is in the sentence. So what type of data types that I should use? Here we will be using a string data type because I am giving the input in a sentence in the alphabet. So I will be using a string data type. So I am using here string and a variable. The variable name what I am giving here is name. And it should end with a semicolon. So I have taken a data type string and a name variable. So cin. So next cin, I am using cin, the input operator, and what's the variable I have taken? Name. So the variable I have taken here is name. Here you can see that. So here you can see cin variable. So cin, the variable name what I have taken? Name. So now scene has written. So here I can enter A, B, C. So I have entered A, B, C. Now again I want to display what the user has entered. So what I will be using to display what the user has entered. So I will be using cout in the double quote. My name is. So this is in the double quote. So the variable, that is the name variable, will be storing the user entered data or the information. The scene name, the name string data type variable will be storing what the user has entered, that is ABC. So now I will be outing name and L at the last with the termination of semicolon. So here my name is in the double quote. So this will be my name is, and the name. Here I have not used the double quote. Here I am directly giving the variable. I am directly introducing, I am directly passing the variable, that is the name, that is the string variable which is storing the user entered data. So this name variable will be storing the user entered data ABC. So now I have passed name. So my name is ABC. So we will be getting my name is ABC. So this was about the input output statement. So this is the basic you should know, the basic of C++ programming. That is the hash include using namespace std, int main, cout, cin and the variable. So how to use this? Cout, it is used to display the message to the output screen. Cin is used to take the input from the user, and again it will store the input whatever the user has given in a variable. That's why we will be using a variable with that data type what we want to store. This is the basic you should learn about C++ programming. So next we are having keywords. So what is keyword? What is the importance of that in the C++ programming? So in C++, a keyword is a reserved word. It is a reserved word that has a predefined meaning in the language. So keyword are the reserved word that will be having a predefined meaning, predefined words. So these words cannot be used as the variable, or it cannot be used as the functions or identifiers. So these keywords are already predefined. It is already defined in the standard library of the C++ language. So here the C words are the part of C++ syntax and are used to perform specific function to define the structure of the program. Keywords cannot be used as identifiers such as variable names, function names or any other user-defined identifiers. So there are total of the count of reserved keywords in the C++ are the 95. So we are having 95 keywords in the C++ language. So let us see those words, the keywords we are having. So here you can see double, auto, break, case, catch, char, friend, class, const. So these are keywords that we are using more. We are using more in the programming language, that we frequently see these words in our program. So there are totally 95 words. These are the words that we frequently see. So that was about the keywords. So keywords is the predefined words. Keywords are the predefined. So that cannot be used as the variables, functions or the identifiers. For example, in the previous, that is when we are learning about the cin and cout, I have used the int x. We have seen int x, right? Here if you see if, else, double, new, these are the keywords. In the same way, int is also a keyword. We cannot write the int. We cannot write int. So the compiler will show you the error. You are using int. So that is the error. So we cannot use double int like this. So it will show the error. Or you cannot use double try. Okay. So this will show you the error message. So because these are the keywords that we are using, or we cannot use double. So this will show you the error message. This will show the error message by the compiler. So this was about the keywords. Next we are having identifier. So what is this identifier? We are starting from the start, we have listened or we have heard this identifier. So what is this identifier? Identifiers are the names used in C++ to identify the variables, function, class, arrays and other user-defined items. So identifier is nothing, is a naming. We are naming the function that what we are using in the code. For example, everyone, whatever, we are having name, right? I am having a name, you are having a name. In the same way, in the code, we are having a naming. That is the identifier. Each function variable will be having their own names. So that is called as a identifier. Identifier means naming. That should be in your mind. Identifier means naming. So naming rules. So there are rules, right? In attendance, we had a rules, right? How the naming should be. If the same person is having a name, we will be having the initial taken. If the initial is also the same, then we will be giving the number. In the same way, the programming, we are having a set of rules for naming the functions, variables, arrays, classes or the user-defined data types. So how this naming rules? What are all these rules? So let us see. Here, identifier must begin with the letters, that is A to Z, that is the capital letters or the small letters or underscore. So, the identifiers should be start from letters. We cannot name the identifier with a special characters. We cannot start with a like this or like this. It can only be started with the A, Z or A, Z, that is the small letter or underscore. Next, we are having subsequent characters can include letters, digits 0 to 9 and underscore. It can include the letters and digits. So next, we are having subsequent characters can include letters, digits and underscore. Identifiers are the case sensitive. So identifiers are the case sensitive, meaning my variable and my variable would consider different. So case sensitive. Here if you see, I am using my variable. Here the V is in capital and here my variable, the V is small. So it is considered as a different and this is considered as a different. Another example I can give here, class name. Here, big class name. So these two are the identifiers that are different. In the first, I am using the small letter C. In the second, the big letter C. So these two identifiers are considered as different from the compiler of the C++. So next, we are having reserved keywords. So reserved keywords like int, return, class, etc. cannot be used as identifiers. So the keywords, what we have seen, the int, float, double, if, try, that cannot be considered as identifiers, means that cannot be considered as a naming. We cannot use it as a naming. So previously as said, we cannot use int. So it will show you the error. So here we are having an example, as include IO stream, that is the header file, using namespace std, int main, that is where the function, means where the program starts execution, int age, string name, cin name age, cout name is age years old, output return 0. So here if you are seeing int age, identifier for the integer. So I am using a data type called int and age is the name. Age is the name of the variable that I am giving. So age is the name of the variable of the integer data type. Here string name. So string is the data type I am using and name is the identifier of the variable I am giving. So int age string name. So here you can see I am having int variable age and here string name. So here these two are the data type and these two are the variables, and I am giving identifier, means I am naming these variables as age and name. So these both variables I am naming age and name. So next, in means character in the name and age. I am character inning the name and age. Out name is and age year old. So now how the output screen. So what is the output screen we are getting? So let us see. So this is the output screen. In name. So directly I am using in name and age. So here directly I am using in name and age. Here name I will give A, B, C because means character in age 18. So I have given the name, that is the string character, and the age, that is in the integer, means integer data type. Here string data type. So ABC and 18. Next Cout. Cout means character output. So in the output it will display. So directly I am passing the variable name. So what I have given? ABC. So I am directly passing the variable here what I have given. The variable what I have given is. So is in the double quote. So is. Age. So I am directly passing the variable age. So what the user has given? 18. So here 18. Here in the double quote years old. So I am having years old. So these both are used as a variables, means this both will store the input of the user. The user input will be stored in the variables what I have given, and the identifier name I have given as a age and name. So here in directly I am using in name and age. Out name, that what user has given is, and the age years old. So this was about the identifiers. So we have seen the keywords and identifiers. So next we are having constant. So keywords, identifiers, next constant. So what do you mean by constant? In general, constant means that does not change the value. So what is constant in programming? So here constant are the values that remain unchanged throughout the execution of a program. In the starting we have seen #define max 25. That is the constant value. We have seen that in the programming, means in the structure of the C++, #define max 25. That is the constant. So here we can see constant is a value that remains unchanged throughout the program. Types of constant. So there are different types of constant. Integer constant. Integer means whole number, the whole number constant. So like 10, -5, these are the numbers that will remain constant throughout the program. Floating point constant, that is decimal number. So float means it is a decimal. It is a decimal like 3.14 minus 0.001. That is having a decimal number. That is a decimal point, floating point. Next we are having character constant. So single character enclosed in a single quotes. So whenever you are using a character means that are the single character, means a single character with the enclosed with a single quote. It will be enclosed in a single quote like A, phi, etc. So these are the single characters, means character constant. Next string constant. So string and characters. Character means single quote, string means double quote. So sequence of character. These are the sequence of characters enclosed in the double quote. Example hello. So you can see it is enclosed with the double quotes. Next symbolic constant. So what do you mean by symbolic constants? Defined using the const keyword or a #defined preprocessor directive. So symbolic constant means the user will define the value with the use of a keyword called const or the hash defined preprocessor directive or hash defined preprocessor directive. Next, how to declare the constant. So there are different ways. The first way is using a const keyword. So we will be using a const keyword. So once the const keyword to declare a constant variable, for example, const So there are different ways to declare or to define a constant. The first one is the using const keyword. For example, const int a. Here you can take const int max value is equals to 100. Now I am assigning 100 to the variable that I have declared as a max value with a constant keyword. Next, using const expr keyword. So this const expr indicates that a variable or a function can be evaluated at a compile time. So this const expr keyword evaluates the variable or the function during the compile time. So here the syntax we are having const expr data type constant name is equals to value. Example, int the const expr hour in days is equals to 24. So this way we can define the const. Another way we can define the const variable means const using the hash defined preprocessor. So the constant defined using this method simply works as an alias for the value which is substituted during the pre-processing. Here there is a syntax hash define const name value. So hash define pi means the pi value I am defining 3.14159. So this will be defined early and it will remain same throughout the program what we have written, what we have executed. So let us see the program here. So here we are having hash include IO stream, that is the header file, using the namespace std, int main, the main function, const int max users is equals to 100. So this is a symbolic constant. Next, const double pi is equals to 3.14. I am assigning the pi value 3.14. It is the constant for pi. Next, cout max user variable and cout the value of pi. So you will be getting the output 100 and 3.14 as the output. So this is a simple program to demonstrate how the constant works. So we have seen the constant. Next, we are having variables. So constant means that does not changes its value. Variable is a storage container. It works as a storage container that changes its value. So variable is a named storage location in a memory that holds a value which can be modified, means which can be changed during the execution of a programming. So during the execution of the programming, the variable values can be changed, but in constant, it cannot be changed. So there are naming rules for the variables. Must begin with a letter A to Z or a small letter or an underscore. Can include letters or digits and also the underscore. The case sensitivity. So the variables are the case sensitivity. For example, age is different from the age. So declaration and initialization. So declaration specifies the data type and the name of the variable. Initialization assigns an initial value to the variable at the time of declaration. Means there is a declaration and as well as initialization. So here int age is equals to 25. I am initializing. Double pi is equals to 3.14159. Char initial is equals to a. So here declare the integer variable age and initialize it to the 25. Let us see the example. Int a. So here I have declared the variable called a. if I write int a is equals to 25. So now I am initializing. I am initializing the value 25 to the variable called a. So declaration means you are just specifying int x. Initialization means that is int x is equals to 25. So this is the main difference. We can just specify or we can initialize. So int a is equals to 10, int b is equals to 20. So now I have taken int a is equals to 10, int b is equals to 20. Now see out a plus b. And then terminate with a semicolon. So the output you will be getting 30. So this is a variable declaration as well as initialization. So that was about the variables. We have seen what is a variable, how to declare as well as how to initialize. Next we are having data types. So what do you mean by data types? What are all the different data types that are there in the C++? So the data types specifies the type of data that a variable can hold. It specifies what type of data a variable can hold. First, the primitive data types. The first thing is a primitive data types. These data types are built-in or a predefined data types. So these are already available in the C++ library, in the standard library. These are the predefined. It is already defined. The data types that can be used directly by the user to declare variables. So these can be directly used by the user to declare variables. Example, the int, char, float, bool and etc. So the int, the first data type, the primitive data type, what we are seeing is the int. So used for integers. So these are used for integers. That means it is used for whole numbers. Example, -10, 0, 42. So how we declare this one? Like I am using int, the data type. I am declaring int a. A is a variable. What is A? A is a variable. Is equals to 42. So now I am using the int data type to declare a variable called A, and I am assigning the value 42 to the variable that I have declared A. Next we are having the float data type. The float data type used for single precision. It is used for single precision. Floating point numbers, for example 3.14 or minus 0.001. So how it is used? Float b is equals to 1.111. So the float data type is used to declare the decimal numbers or the floating point numbers. Next we are having the double data types. Used for double precision floating point numbers. So this is used for double precision floating point numbers, providing more precisions than the float. So here is an example. You can see 2.718281828. So it is giving the double than float data type. Next we are having char. Char data type used for the single character. It is used for single characters like A, B. Whenever you are using a char data type means we will be quoting, we will be assigning the value in the single quote. In the single quote we are assigning a single character. Next we are having bool. Represents a boolean value either true or false. It represents a boolean value that is either true or false. So this will be having the bytes and bits. So this will have their own bytes and bits like 2 byte, 4 byte, 8 byte, 1 byte. So they will be having their own bytes and bits memory allocation that they can store. So next we are having the derived data types. Next we have seen the primitive data types. Next we are having the derived data types. So the derived data types that are derived from the primitive or built-in data types are referred to as a derived data types. So derived, as the name say, it is derived from the primitive data type. It is derived from the primitive data type where user can create his own data, or the variables. So they are array. The first derived data type, array. A collection of elements of the same data type. It is a collection of homogeneous elements. So that is a derived data type. For example, int number 5. Int numbers with a square bracket. I am initializing the size. 5. So the numbers will be holding a 5 integer. This is the size. Next we are having pointer. So pointer holds the memory address of another variable. So the pointer is also a variable that holds the memory address of the another variable. It holds the memory address. The memory address can be like 2F060. So these addresses are held by the pointers. Example, how to write it? Int with the asterisk. PTR is the variable. Here int is the data type and asterisk PTR is the variable. So this way we are declaring a pointer. Next we are having the function. A block of code that performs a specific task. It is a block of code that can perform a specific task. A specific task means like if you want to do a addition. So you can create a function that do specifically the addition, program. So a function is also a derived type and can return a value. Next, user-defined data type. So next we are having user-defined data type. These are, as the name say, it is a user-defined. The user will define these data types. The user-defined data types are defined by the user itself. First, we are having struct. A collection of variables, possibly of different types grouped together. Example, struct person, string name, int age. So, the first thing of the user-defined data type is a struct. This is mainly a collection of variables. Here we can see the example. The struct is a keyword. Struct is a keyword what we are taking, and person is the structure name. The person is the struct name we are giving, and string, we are using a string with a variable name, and int. Int is the data type what we have previously seen, and age is the variable that we are giving. Int age and string name. Next we are having class. Next, the class similar to struct but with the added features like encapsulation. So, class is where that is an addition features like OOPS concept. It will be having a OOPS concept like encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism. That is additional features that we can see in the class. Example, class is a keyword. So what is those keyword? Keyword is a reserved word. Keyword means it is a predefined reserved word. So class, car, public. Public is a access specifier, and we are having string model. And next we are having string model. So the class will always terminate with a semicolon. The class specification will always terminate with a semicolon. Next we are having union. A special data type that allows storing different data types in the same memory location. It is also a user-defined data type. The main difference is it allows storing different data types in the same memory location. It will allow to store the same. It will allow the different data type to be stored in the same memory location. So, let us see the example for data types. Here we are having #include iostream, that is the header file, using namespace std int main. So int main is the main part of a program that starts the execution. The program starts execution from the main function. Int age is equals to 30. So here integer is the data type what we are using, age is the variable, and I am assigning the value 30 to the age variable. Float salary is equals to 55,000 with the point of 75. Char is also a data type, that is the character data type that stores the value in a single quote. Grade is equals to B, that is in a single quote. Bool is also a data type which says the true or false. It will give you a true or false. So is employed is also a variable. It is saying true. Cout, age, salary, grade and employed. So what is the output we are getting? In the output, age 30, salary. Next we are having salary. Grade. So the grade is B in a single quote. And the last is employed. True. So you will be getting true as a output. So this is the output for this example. So here we have taken int, float, char, bool as a data type. So let us see our own example how the variable and data type works. So for example, we have to have a program, we have to have a demonstrate, or we have to have an output of a student detail. We have to have an output about a student details. So the student details should include his name, age, course and grade. So in the output console, we should have name, age, course and grade. So how to do in a C++ program? Hash include IO stream. So what is this? This is a header file using namespace std int main. So this is a basic thing, int main. So we want name, age, course and grade. So name is a sequence of characters. So we will be using string. So string name equals, I am giving A, B, C. So next we are having age. Age is an integer. It is a whole number. So what we are using? We are using a data type called int. So int is a primitive data type. Int age is equals to 18. Next, the course. Again, it is a sequence of character. String course is equals to BCA. So string are declared in a double quote. And next, grade. It is a single character. Why? We are having grade A, B, C, D. So these are the single characters. Single character, right? It is a one alphabet. It is a single character. So what data type we are using? Which data type? It is a char data type. Char grade equals A. So I am having A in a single quote. Next, we want this in a output. So what we are using? Cout. We are using cout. Cout name, passing the name variable here. Next, age, passing the age. Next, the course, I'm passing the course variable. So this variable will be holding the values. That's why I'm passing these variables in the cout, in the character output to the console. Next, grade passing the variable grade, and L, return 0. So next we are having return 0. Why return 0? Return 0 means it will be returning the 0 because we are using int main. Int is a data type that will be having a return value. Return 0 is written because for the program has executed successfully. Here you can see I am not mentioning the double quote for these things. So why? These are the variables I am passing to the cout, that is holding or storing the value, the ABC 18 BCA A, and these are in double quotes. So this will be written in the output console. So name A, B, C, age 18, course BCA, and the grade A. So this is the output. So this is a simple example to demonstrate the use of variable as well as the data type. So in C++, the basic of keywords, identifiers, variables and data types, and how the cout scene works. What is the structure of C++ program? These are the basic things that is important so that we can start coding. We can write our own code. Without knowing the identifiers, what is variable or what is data type, we cannot code properly. So we should know what is a data type, what is the primitive data types, what is the variable, what is this constant, what is the identifiers, what is this keywords, how many keywords are there in the C++. So these are the basic things that are important in our C++, in our syllabus or in our problem solving using C++. So in the next session, we're gonna see about the operators, expression, precedence of the operators, type conversion and storage classes. So this is a next session topics that we are covering. Thank you.